Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. It is October 30th, and according to a friend and viewer, hi Deborah, it is Happy Cat Day. Who knew? So we thought we would do a little bit of a cat parade. If you don't like cats, fast forward for about a minute. This is Crystal. She is 16 years old. She is part Siamese. She only loves my daughter. Everybody else she tolerates. And she's called the Diva for obvious reasons. All right, little girl, go back to your human. There you go. All right, go. All right, this is Miss Ellie, who you met a little while ago. Hey, little girl, stop it. You met a little while ago. She is one of our more recent rescues. We're not sure. We think she's about a year and a half. If you've seen me, dragging cats off of the screens and stuff like that, this would be the girl. All right, toodle, Miss Ellie. And this is our sweet little Atticus. Atticus is about 5 months old. He is also a rescue. He's going to be a long-haired cutie pie when he finishes growing. And Atticus and Jerry are kind of really good buddies because Atticus kind of has a paw that doesn't quite work, although it doesn't appear to bother him. But him and Jerry have bonded over the three-legged thing. And of course, here's the rock star to beat all rock stars. Jerry, say hi to everybody. Say hello. Thank you for all the compliments. My human tells me every one of them. Okay. Say bye, kitty cats. Thank you, human helpers. Alrighty, so there we go. So focus now, okay? There we go. So, all right. I thought that we would offset the cute kitty parade by going to the other end of the innocent and adorable spectrum. So as such, there's a few people I want to do kind of quicker deep dives on. So we're going to start with Mulvaney because the news out this morning is that he was excluded from being given a heads up at all with regards to the takedown of the ISIS fella. So he must be not in Trump's good graces at the moment. I mean, especially after that fiasco of a news conference that he did. But, they say that, he doesn't really view Mulvaney as sort of having that kind of a role and whatever. And that may well be true. I just see this more as a, you're going to be removed from the inner circle for a little while until you prove again that, that I can trust you. So let's look at Mulvaney. And the other ones I hope to get down the list on are, I want to take a look at Steve Miller, and that frankly is always a scary place to go. I want to take a look at Giuliani, and if I haven't said Bannon. But we're going to start with Mulvaney and Giuliani, and if I don't get to the others, we'll take a peek at them, in the next few days. All right, come on down. I have a question. So, my question is, Mulvaney's current status, and Mulvaney's current status. Interesting. He has, and not that he ever held on tight to this, but he has at this point completely relinquished any responsibility, any even thought that he should in any way, shape, or form contradict the president, contradict his message, correct the president, say this isn't a good road you're going down. He never ever did it, but he seems to have come to a place where he is not even attempting kind of to be particularly interested. He may publicly, mimic Trump's words, and he does. But on some level, he is starting to get real clarity about what exactly is going on with the government, what exactly is going on with Trump. And, in that last news event that he did, where he sort of blurted out the truth about exactly how mercenary the United States is and how transactional the presidency has become. And there is now a real hesitation on his part to, kind of go after anybody or say anything that is even a little bit off script. And frankly, expect to not see him hanging around or doing very much. I actually think that he is in more precarious ground than he thinks he is. And more than that, you have... Hold on now. I think Kellyanne Conway is after his job. And she may very well get it. It would be very interesting to see exactly how long Mulvaney survives this. And I'm not exactly sure that by, the beginning of 2020, he's actually still going to be the acting, whatever that is, whatever he is, whatever his title is. I'm so tired of these titles that are completely disregarded and disgraced by people that I've sort of given to sticking with the name and kind of ignoring the title because it's not like they do or behave the way the title indicates they should. But I'm starting to wonder if little Miss, Kellyanne Conway is not interested in taking over Chief of Staff, that position, because she sees a lot of glory in it for her, and I don't see Mulvaney as being on very secure ground. I think that if he does leave, there potentially could very well it could go, of course, both ways, but I sort of seeing Trump just announcing that he now has a permanent chief of staff person that he wants in place, and then Mulvaney will continue to be he's with the Office of Monies and Budgets. I think he may very well retain his role there, at least for a slightly longer foreseeable future. I could be wrong. He could be bounced, right off the White House grounds. But I see some heartbreak. I see some hurt. And of course, Trump's at the bottom, right? What Trump wants, Trump gets. Just as simple as that. So, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. He has started to figure out that his reputation is shredded. It is absolutely destroyed. And frankly, even among a lot of Republicans, he has lost whatever credibility he did have, because there are some things that are just being either not handled at all, which I think is primarily what's going on, and that which is getting handled so badly by him that they're just not in a good place. And he's starting to recognize that, he's in a much more precarious position than he realized or thought he would be, because he also suffers under that weird little thing that goes on with people who get into the Trump inner circle. They kind of tend to think that they're invincible. I don't know why they think this. All they have to do is look around and they'll see nobody else has been invincible, but they seem to convince themselves that they are. And here we have him wishing that he could go back to the way things were. And well, guess what? Genie, bottle, toothpaste tube, same story, right? Yeah, he is destined to be disappointed, and he is going to be put in a couple of really tight positions by the government itself. So whether he gets called on to testify, and while he cannot testify about, you know, sort of what went on between him and Trump, I believe he should be able to testify about things that he told other people to do or not do. So we'll see if that sort of pans out that way. But honestly, Mulvaney's in for a wee little bit of a rough ride. Okay, and just as I was doing that, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to do Giuliani, but then we're going to move on to Kellyanne Conway. I think it's about time we did a little bit of a look-see on her. It's been a while. If I remember correctly, the last video I did about her was titled something about snakes in the grass. So let's take a quick dip into Giuliani, and then let's just see if we can, what we can see about good old Kellyanne Conway. All right, here we go. Rudy Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani. He has been, you know, quieter than normal. I understand that the White House told him to shush and stop talking. You know, more and more information is coming out about him and the two thug-like gentlemen who are, you know, helping him, who are trying to claim some sort of executive privilege because they work with Rudy, and so he works for the government, so therefore, I mean, that's as bogus as it comes. And they're also paying... They're the ones who are coming up with the money for Rudy. So it's very confusing as to how come they're paying him, but they're working under him. So it's very messy and muddy, and it's going to, excuse me, get messier and muddier. Yeah, they do everything in their power to literally try to change reality. Literally, here is the truth of stuff, and here is them hanging upside down, trying to change people's perspectives of what the truth actually is. And it's not working for them. Nobody is buying their story. It's getting to the point where, you know, he's starting to realize that the cup of treasures that was handed to him, the notoriety, the, you know, what all the, you know, I said it 100 times before, Rudy's drug of choice is relevance. So he's starting to realize that maybe, you know, that wasn't, that's not going to work out so well for him. Yeah, he is another one who is absolutely destined, you know, to be, frankly, he's not going to come out of this well. And part of the reason that you can start to suspect that is because the William Barr's Justice Department appears to not be working very hard to defend Rudy or to pull any investigations back from Rudy. You almost get the feeling that in Barr's calculation, Rudy isn't important enough. He has been seen as a hand grenade, right? He's in there doing what he's doing, and he's circumventing everybody else, and ultimately it made the everybody else's look bad. And I think that at this point, Barr's kind of said, you know what, go hang. So this is interesting because I see Giuliani in considerably actually more trouble than is publicly recognized or realized. But there's more stuff that's going to come out on him, a lot more information. And, you know, some of it pertains to money, some of it pertains to contacts, some of it pertains to yet even more behind the scenes meddling and interfering with the function of government, even though your government isn't functioning very well at the moment. He, you know, he went in there and sort of threw a wrench into the wheel. Oopsies. Oopsies. Yeah. Okay, here we go. it's not going to end well for him, okay? We don't need to drag this out too much longer. You can see he's being attacked from the back. He's going to get stabbed in the back, and not once or twice, but several times, and from several kind of different directions. That is going to cause a complete retreat. He is going to back away from this situation. It is no longer tenable for him. And he may even at some point actually start getting some legal advice that isn't set up to fall in line with what Trump wants. Okay, so he may actually get some lawyers who actually want to try to help him or protect him. I'm not sure about that. Can't see why, but you never know. But either way, the government is coming after him, and it's not looking good for him, right? He's walking away disappointed and betrayed, and frankly, there are people who are celebrating the fact that finally it appears that he's actually going to get what he kind of has coming to him, because in some ways it's even more annoying than sometimes some of the stuff that Trump has done, because on whatever level there is an expectation that at least Rudy is supposed to know what is not legal, and on some level, he is supposed to honor the oaths that he took, when he became a lawyer, and respecting the law and following the law. And apparently he just does none of that. His favorite people these days seem to be thugs and thug-like people. He is swimming in dark money and dirty dealings. So when it completely crumbles on him, he is going to be left in a position that is almost not recoverable, okay? I would not be surprised if he lost his law license. I would not be surprised if he lost almost all credibility, and a little ways down the road, I don't know if he's going to go to jail, but he's definitely there's going to be punishment coming to him. But when that is all said and done, the only place you're going to be able to find him is on extreme right-wing media, ranting like a loon. Okay, let's focus on good old Kellyanne Conway, and maybe we're going to take a little look at her husband, George. Let's just see what's going on there, because I think that there's a little bit probably more going on there. They've been relatively quiet, except for Kellyanne going after some reporter not that long ago because she dared to ask a question about George. Like as if George is a shrinking violet and has kept his opinions to himself, and she's indignant that somebody would dare ask. Okay, let's just focus on Kellyanne first, and then we'll add George into the mix. So Kellyanne Conway. What is going on with you, little lady? Okay, so here's a couple of things sort of right off the gate. She is a street fighter, okay? There's a toughness and a resilience that has now evolved into a harshness about her. And really, she is that street fighter. I don't know what her background is. I really know nothing about her, except she should really find a new stylist and perhaps upgrade her hair and maybe tone down the bleached blonde look. But, my personal opinion, I have these things to say. But she just has become that person who will snap and growl and fight anybody. It's as if she is so determined to, and it is, to some degree, it really is a performance, to play this role that she is like really scripted to speak to certain elements of Trump's personality As part of the reason that she has been able to sail along for this period of time really unscathed and really unattacked, and you know, Trump just still adores her, and it's because she has figured out a way to connect with his own baser reactions, right? So when he sees her being rude and violent and pushing back, that just sings in his heart. And she's figured out a way how to, you know, make sure he gets that message and gets that message all the time. But this is what's fascinating about this. And I think I have said this before. Her and George, in many ways, are two peas in a pod. They are not as divergent in their thoughts, opinions, and feelings as we would like to sort of think that maybe they are, because you know what? They're just not. What she does is she puts on a performance when she leaves the house in the morning, and she becomes this sort of, you know, street fighter. But we're going to find out in time as things unfold. We're going to find out that we know already that she is one of the biggest leakers in the White House. In time, we're going to find out exactly how much she leaked, and her story is literally going to be, I felt I needed to protect the country from him, and to do that, I needed to, you know, stay on his good side, and nobody's going to buy it, because there is loyalty, and then there is a time to have some self-dignity and self-respect, and that time has come and gone for her. Whenever possible in the next little while, she is going to be playing a little bit more of a quiet role, because she doesn't want to do anything that might get out ahead of Trump's message. She is absolutely looking to become, she wants to become that powerful female element in Trump's inner circle. And that is her intention. That is what she is going after. And she's very mindful of the fact that certain things have to fall into place in a certain way in order for her to achieve this goal. Yeah, she wants it. And you know what? I would not be surprised in the next little while if she gets it. So be careful, you know, Mick Mulvaney, because, you know, and Kellyanne Conway, honestly, she is on the march behind the scenes and quietly to get the goal she wants, because she knows that if she gets that, irregardless of how horrendous a President Trump has been, she still gets some glory for that, and she will get glory for that for many, many years to come within those really tight Republican kind of right-wing groups. And that kind of credibility is something that she can absolutely monetize. Bless her soul. So this is it. She's in it for the money. She's in it for the prestige. She doesn't care who or what she knocks down in order to get it. But do understand this, that her and George, they're not, in no way are they at opposite ends and fighting. They are very much in sync. I don't know exactly what that translates to or how it translates, but the long and short of what I see is simply that she will do whatever it takes to stay in Trump's good graces. And while she may agree with George, right now it is in her personal best career interest to pursue the path she is pursuing, and I don't have any doubt that she is actually going to achieve it. And after all of that hard work, and after all of those calculations, she is still going to end up being affiliated and associated with a discredited, evil, and cruel president from the, this portion of America's, history. So, as I said, she's going to be another one, kind of like Giuliani, who in a few years to come, she's that person who's on that fringe, that right-wing fringe, unless somehow or another George can pull her back and they can figure out a way to sort of create an alternative reality around Kellyanne Conway. And it's possible. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me and supporting me. It's I have no words. It's remarkable. So thank you. Yeah, that's it. In a couple of days, if there's nothing like really crazy, we'll take a look at Bannon and Steve Miller. But I think this was helpful. It gives us some insights. It certainly looks like when that tower falls around Trump, there's going to be a lot of other towers that fall. And sometimes that's the only way that you can really clear out this kind of I don't, you know what I mean. The destruction, the disrespect, the just vileness of it. So I hope a few people recognize, or if not, they'll soon find out that they really are in for a wee little bit of a bumpy ride. Okay, so thank you again. Take care. Be well. And we'll see you soon. Oh, and before I forget, thank you for all the energy and thoughts that are being sent to California. Please keep them up. Those Santa Ana winds are whipping up apparently, and it's getting scarier and scarier. So please send thoughts, energy, love, and light to everybody in that area, and working to fight the forest fires and working to flee them. Take care now. Bye-bye.